The Karate Witch, a flash short story. Copyright July 12, 2007 by Cupideros. 817 words from Women Unbound Stories 1. Mr. Han, owner, world champion, and Tiger One karate school instructor lowered the class open sign as he raised the class full sign. A tall woman, dressed in an asymmetrical black dress, with long black hair, waved her arms frantic from across the street, trying to cross 4 traffic lanes. Mr. Hands didn't see her. Frustrated, the witch raised both hands and froze time. Traffic stood still. Mr. Hand halted, lowering one sign while raising the other sign. The witch darted through the open spaces of 4 blurry cars, her pointed black belly slippers going pat on the street pavement. She unfroze time. Mr. Hand turned around and startled, he stared at her sudden appearance. I hope I'm not too late. I just wanted to learn Kung Fu so bad. She reached into her paperback-sized black purse with a skull zipper pull. A loud rip sounded as she opened it and pushed her hand in and retrieved $1,000. See? I want the entire class. Exercise, the costumes, she giggled. I love wearing white, by the way. She stepped back a step, laughing. I know, she nodded her head. I'm wearing all black, but Mr. Han, you are Mr. Han, her face scowled. He nodded. Mr. Han, yes. Her face brightened again. See, I wear all black the week of Halloween, and as soon as it ends, I'm ready for class. She stood silent, waiting for Mr. Hand's answer. Mr. Hand kept staring, and he glanced at the 2 signs in his hands. He stared again at the young lady. Oh, sorry. Not very nice of me. I'm Audrey Tettington. Do you intend to practice, Miss Tettington? He pointed to her head. With your long, pointy hat? Audrey snatched the hat off and put it behind her back. Next, she tried to put it inside her purse. Mr. Hand watched in amazement as Audrey tried to stuff the huge silk black hat inside her purse. Audrey opened her eyelids wide and gave Mr. Hand a just-a-minute look. See there. She crossed both hands over her zipped-up purse. Mr. Hand said, Fast hands. How did you manage it to fit? Oh, I'm determined. Audrey laughed and nodded. I'm determined to get what I want. Okay, let's introduce you to the class. They walked in, and Audrey towered 4 feet over 5'3" Mr. Hand, even without her 3-foot-long black pointy hat. Her cat-like walk silenced her feet. So silent did she walk, Mr. Hand turned back around just to assure himself Audrey hadn't chickened out and sprinted away. After introductions, and at Audrey's persistence, Mr. Hand decided to give her some brief lessons. He stood beside Audrey. Stand like so, hands like this, elbows in, strike this way. And Mr. Hand shouted, Ha! Audrey bent her shoulders and tilted her head sideways. Oh, come on, Mr. Hand. I want to practice, you know. She shuffled her black pointy slippers forward and back, fast like cards. She moved her hands swift like a punching bag hang before her. She squinted and made ferocious faces. The class laughed. Okay, 1 lesson. Now you stand there. Use the strike I just showed you. Try to attack me. Audrey repeated the karate pose he showed her. She shouted, Ha! Then flicked her wrists, and Mr. Hand circled 360 degrees in the air and landed flat on his bum. Audrey stood knock-kneed and stooped her shoulders. Sorry. She put her cute hands to her closed lips. Did I do that? She giggled. I didn't mean to. Mr. Hand got up slow. You don't need lessons. No, honest, Mr. Hand. Audrey shook her hands like odd, disobedient creatures. 1 more try, Mr. Hand. I'm getting control over my powers. Honest. Dark-haired Mr. Hand, as he pointed a finger to the ceiling. 1 more try. He took up his defensive position again. Okay, strike at me. Audrey paused. She bounced on her toes. She tossed her shoulder-length black hair out of her eyes with a head snap. She stood one leg in front of the other's. Ha! Audrey performed the move perfectly. Her right hand snapped forward and Mr. Hand blocked it. Audrey's left hand, however, went backwards. And as in those Sunday afternoon kung fu movies, 4 students went flying backwards, slamming into the wall. Oops. Audrey turned behind her to see the 4 staggering back to their feet. Aw, shucks, doggone it. I'll get it right this time. It's not easy being a witch, Mr. Hand. You just don't know. One more try. No, no, Audrey, Mr. Hand said, shaking his head negatively. He reached into his pocket and gave $1,000 back. You come back in another lifetime when you're not a witch. Despite Audrey's profuse apologies and stooped shoulders and knee-knock walking, Mr. Hand kept moving her closer and closer toward the front door. He sighed and waved in a tired manner for Audrey to go. The end. Thanks for listening to this Cupiderosbooks.com production. Story by Cupideros. Cover art by Cupideros. If you want to support this fiction writer's efforts to write about courageous women who have agency, go after what they want, and achieve their goals, buy Cupideros paperback books and ebooks